I am Tri Risma Harini, Ministry of Social Affairs of Indonesia. Good afternoon. First of all, on behalf of the Government of the Republic of Indonesia, allow me to convey my sincere gratitude to UN Committee for the Right of People with Disabilities (CRPD) for granting me the opportunity to share the current situation of people living with disability in Indonesia and how the government managed to take care of them as well as deal with the diverse society around them as mandated by UN Convention and the Right of Persons with Disabilities. I would like to thank all participants of this meeting who I strongly believe are willing to put extraordinary commitment and effort to make sure that people living with disability are well supported and able to attain fulfilling lives. Excellencies, Commissioner, ladies and gentlemen, as the biggest archipelago in the world, Indonesia has 6,000 more islands spread off in an area as big as 35,000 square miles, home to 270 million population. It is indeed very challenging to handle all social issues in Indonesia. According to the latest National Socio-Economic Survey, it is estimated that there are 22.9 million persons living with disability whom we support to achieve fulfilling lives. The Indonesian Constitution underlines the mandate for the government to respect, protect, and ensure the full and equal enjoyment of the right of the people with disabilities. In Article 27, verse 1, the Constitution stated that all citizens are equal before the law and administration and obligated to uphold the law without exception. Progress had been made in the implementation of the right of persons with disabilities. And on behalf of the government, the delegate for today's dialogue is keen to update key milestone to the Honorable High Commissioners and participants of this meeting. To be in line with Article 5, 12, and 13 of the Convention, the government had launched National Action Plan for Persons with Disability for the period of 2021-2024. Law number 8, 2016 on persons with disability underlined the respect to equality before the law, non-discrimination, and access to justice. Quote from Chapter C, Article 5, person with disability has the right to justice and law protection. And in Chapter 5, Article 9, right to justice and law protection for persons with disability include equality before the law. Currently, the Ministry of Social Affairs together with another ministry are working together to provide assistance for victims and their family for crimes involving persons with disabilities in Kampar, Tangerang Selatan, Salatiga, Sragen, Blora, Malang, Surabaya, Jember, Buleleng, Samarinda, Tabalong, Sango, Bulukumba, Bau-Bau, and Mimika. This year there are at least 450 cases involving persons with disabilities assessed by TEAM. In addition to free legal processes assistance, the government also working on the rehabilitation and recovery of their socio-economic capabilities through empowerment program designed individually based on assessment of their needs and aspirations. Program varies from skill enhancement, vocational trainings, equipment, and other working capital, up to house relocation and or renovation depends on individual assessment. Continuous counseling, physical therapy, and psychosocial therapy were offered to victims and families to ensure smooth return to society once their legal processes are done or finalized. Psychologists are assigned to assist the victim during their hard time and only resist once the cases are concluded. Our physical therapists help parents, siblings, spouse with simple exercise and to-do lists be taken at home or after they are rehabilitated. Families are giving trainings to actively taking part as support group for the victim. TK, 17 years old, is the teenager from Sango, West Kalimantan. She lives with hearing and talking disability. When she was raped in December 2021, she felt the world fallen apart. The government took care of her while the rapist is facing justice. Our intervention as the first work focused on medical assessment of her hearing organs. She turned out to be responded partly to sound. Hearing aids then provide along with series of therapeutic intervention enriched with the counseling and therapy to her and her parents. August 2022, TK No Lives lives cheerfully, full of the confident and positive about her future. Excellence Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, in compliance with Article 6, 7, 23, 28, the government had been providing family development system through Family Help Program or Program Keluarga Harapan to provide social cash transfer for families who had family members with disabilities. The social cash transfer is designed to education, health, and access to health care facility, pregnancy, child care, and protection, and when applicable also to elderly in the family. To emphasize the implementation of Article 28, cash transfer program are also prioritized to persons with disabilities who live below poverty line. Two main social protection program available for those beneficiaries are PKH and PPNT. We are working to reach 100% of registered persons with disability within our national welfare database, which is this quarter of 2020 there are 1,030,000 more beneficiaries registered in 34,000 families. Aside of those cash transfer program, the government also provides social assistance programs for persons with disabilities. This program aims to increase the capability and adaptability of the person with disabilities to grow their potential and make their mark in the society in 2021. The number of recipients of the service was more than 20,000 people respectively. By 1st September 2022, extra daily meals for persons with disability are going to be expanded to more beneficiaries such as urban. The government offers the two kinds of support, cash and in-kind. The cash is handed when there are relatives and extended family or to someone in the neighborhood who is deemed responsible and able to cook and deliver to the beneficiaries 3 times a day. Currently, we are working to enhance the program to also cover the basic services such as subsidized electricity and health insurance. The program is designed to prioritize persons with disability and elderly from the bottom of the pyramid. The expansion was driven by the fact that existing cash transfer programs are not sufficient to some beneficiaries who are registered in our national welfare database. Personal touch, constant communication, and physical attentive information are all critical to create such a supportive environment for persons with disabilities. Our new approach in the last 18 months had proven to be showing good impact. The following are the proof. Approximately 1 month ago, we reached out to an 8-year-old girl who had to live a hard life taking care of her 5 family members. All paralyzed, there are process paralysis, living in a remote area in a small island of Sitaro, far north from Manado, northern Sulawesi. Our outreach team had been to travel by boat and spend 6-7 hours at the sea. To give a bit of context, it takes 3 hours and 30 minutes non-stop flight from Jakarta to Manado. They live in a hill, steep and not easy to access, but with combined effort, we managed to transport all 5 of them to the closest city with adequate healthcare facility, Manado. After thorough medical assessment, all of them agreed to move to our facility and get the treatment properly. As we speak, significant improvement had been recorded. This family gained back their ability to move around and do basic stuff like combing their hair, having their own meals, and brushing their teeth. For Article 8, the government highlighted the achievement of young talented artists who are living with disability. In an auction during the closing night of HDI 2021 exhibition. Those artists were appreciated and all 88 paintings were sold out, a boost to their confidence that New Horizon is opening wide for their career and painters. In addition, the inauguration of the Combination of Indonesia National Commission of Disability (KND) was also taken place during that HDI Summit 2021. The establishment of KND was stipulated by Law Number 8, 2016, and regulated in detail by Presidential Regulation Number 68, 2020. KND plays a role as independent institution which monitor, evaluates, and advocates the realization of disability rights in Indonesia, spearheaded by 7 commissioners sworn in on 1st December 2021 by Presidential Decree Number 7353 2021, KND works hand-on-hand with Ministry of Social Affairs and literally nested in our office to ensure tight partnership with relevant stakeholders. Prior of the HDI Summit, we launched Indonesia Mendengar, Indonesia Hears. The campaign was created to respond to the many cases of crimes and domestic abuse to children with hearing disabilities. We thought the ability to defend themselves victims were prone to repeated abuse even by the cops around them who they know well. Most cases were happening in silence. The assessment of those victims showed that most of them were medically can be treated. We had the cases where the small intervention they actually can hear and respond to treat. Training were given to them to scream for help, seek action when in distress, or blow the whistle. During the kick-off of Indonesia Mendengar campaign, we conducted voluntary assessment. Some of them could listen with hearing it as an alternative. Hundreds of mobile phone and gadgets to convert voice to text were distributed in 28 locations together with training for trainers of sign language. The government is committed to prolong the campaign this year and hopefully beyond. Indonesia Melihat, Indonesia Sees had similar backgrounds. Sight disability cases were found in all ages, including children. Therefore, massive cataract surgeries were initiated around the country. At one go, at least 300 kids are being examined, treated, and when permitted, had a cataract cleared. Within the campaign, the government distributed 1,000 adaptive blind sticks, which is currently under international patent process. There are key factors I need to highlight on adaptive blind sticks, such as the first, it comes with heat detector that can trigger the build an alarm to alert the user in case of fire. It can detect flood and running water. It is equipped with GPS for easy navigation and to help family and friends locate the user when he gets lost. It has also come with detector for hazardous chemicals. Indonesia Melangkah, Indonesia Walks was driven by cases of successful therapy and social centers where adults with years of physical conditions can walk. Darmanto Sakti, Edi Suprapto 21, Endang 26, Riki 23, Samad Kabul 18 all benefit from the therapy they had in our center in Solo and had so progresses. To support personal mobility, we designed 3 types of mass customizer: regular wheelchair, motorized electric wheelchair, and adaptive electric wheelchair for cerebral palsy. The adaptive electric wheelchair for cerebral palsy was designed not only to support daily activities, but also to support their confidence, hence psychology support their rights to live independently and being included in the community. The series of campaign Indonesia Mendengar, with Indonesia Melihat and Indonesia Melangkah, is expected to promote public awareness of the protection and fulfillment of the right of persons with disabilities. In total, with the campaign, the government has distributed 6,000 more in 2021 and 3,000 more up to June 2022 various devices such as electric wheelchair, adaptive blind stick, modified electric three-wheelers, and water sensor for blind. In regards to Article 11, whereby Indonesia as a country that spread of our a region of Ring of Fire and Migratras. Constant challenges in managing disaster recovery are real and right in context. Safe and sound shelter for persons with disability during disaster are mandated by Government Regulation Number 42/2020 on accessibility to settlement, public services, and protection from disaster for persons with disability. Chapter 4, Article 23 of this government regulation specifies the obligation for all administration and local government to provide accessible and design accommodation for persons with disability in disaster recovery and disaster management. It is further regulated by Ministry of Social Affairs Regulation Number 7/2021 concerning social rehabilitation assistance, in particular Article 3, Paragraph 13. Article 7 S10, as well as by Ministry of Women Empowerment and Child Protection Regulation Number 13/2020 on protection of women and children from gender-based violence in the sector. The implementation of disaster resilient villages is also based and designed to be friendly for people with disability. As we speak, there are 1,000 more villages that had been accredited as Desa Tangguh Bencana within the scheme. There are also Kampung Siaga Bencana or disaster ready kampung, which are spread out over 800 more locations in 34 provinces with technical guidelines in their application, including the involvement of persons with disability and gender representation in activities development and training of disaster management volunteers. I recall clearly one of the training we had in Sudan coast of Java in Pacitan, whereby we ceremony tsunami warning and evacuation processes. We train children, adult, women, and men, as well as persons with disability to work together and mitigate the risk by calculation. Our innovative smart blind, stick mentioned previously, were also tested during the disaster simulation. It was proven that in time of kinetic even the stick had the ability as intended with it to save life. The preparation of facing disaster was also enriched with family tracing and reunification as a feature in the post-disaster recovery. On this context, I would love to also mention newly launched refugees tent that is designed to be family and child friendly. We dispatch in this type of tent in Majene, Lumajang, and Padang, to name a few. Government Regulation 16/2021, implementing regulation of number 28/22 on building and government regulation number 39/2020 on adequate accommodation for persons with disabilities and judicial process are all designed to ensure accessibility, mobility, and independence of person with disability. The universal design was implemented in our facility in Jakarta and Bekasi, whereby the government built 5-story apartment. Aside of these 2 towers, the government planned to build at least 14 more towers in each location all across in 2020-2024. The ground floor is this apartment of Rusunawa are prioritized for persons with disabilities. Each unit of this apartment is designed for a family of 3 or 4 members. In line to Article 24 and 27 of the Convention in 2022, the Ministry of Manpower note that the number of workers with disability on the enterprise and the private sector continue to increase, reaching more than 4,000 workers. Education and social center had been switched from thematic to multifunction services to be able to meet the diverse needs of persons with disability, including skill enhancement, education, and job creation. Data from Ministry of Education show that currently there are approximately 8,000 more education units that provide education for students with disability. Total PDPD who have registered in formal or normal education are more than 98,000 students, consists of 142,000 exclusive SLB students. 120,000 more regular school students that operate under an exclusive school scheme, and 7,000 student community learning center, homeschooling, and like students. We like provide skill and entrepreneurs trainings to encourage a person with disability to prosperous life independently. The government introduced care shelter workshop and economic empowerment and vocational training for children with intellectual disability. Piloted in Making Splash Batik initiative by Sentra Kartini Temanggung, it is now successfully being replicated in 30 and 20 cities across Indonesia. Participants often launch modified splash batik with simple geometric patterns. Results of the training are shown in our various locations, such as Cafe Mall Bandung, operated by blind, sight, disabled, or low vision. Arne Cafe in Tabanan, Bali, also operated by blind, sight, disability, or low vision. Various product galleries and SKA showcasing creative products such as portraits, painting, and so on. The training also resulted accessibility tools both for business and personal mobility tools, manufactured in our centers and produced by persons with disability as working team. The workers were the first beneficiaries of the first batch of those accessibility and mobility tools when they are finished and ready to be used. The production of accessibility tools for business were located in 8 social centers of Ministry Social Affairs and had produced 300 more units of modified electric three-wheeler into 2021 and 6 units so far in 2022. Production of personal mobility tools to support accessibility were built in 50 centers last year. The center were able to produce 700 more units of adaptive electric wheelchair for cerebral palsy. The number reached 300 more units in 2022. All designed and produced by our own international resource in 16 centers across Indonesia. Last year, the center were able to produce more than 5,000 units of adaptive blind stick. In 2022, so far, more than 800 units of adaptive blind stick were produced. The modified electric three-wheelers are probably one of the favorite output for commercial food vendors. I will share with you a story of a spirit young teenager named Gading, 19, from Pekalongan, Central Java. He was 18 when he got his first bike and decided to monetize for good vendor activity. The bike and his condition hindered him to outspread his endeavor. When one day his bike was upgraded to modified electric three-wheelers, his dream is of strengthening his business started to grow. Earn double, no grading can start saving some of the daily income and buy a motorcycle for his parents. Wakiran 62, Fandi 28, 29 and Sparman 50 were no different. They are got three-wheelers and started expanding their business as mobile grocery shop. It proven that they just need a little push, supporting working capital infrastructure to catch their dream. We provide them with first push and they move. A typical support designed to cover not only the three-wheelers but also the merchandise of our assortment of goods for a start ranging from 1,000 and 3,000, 3 million IDR. A cooperative in Surabaya saw similar pattern. Start 5 years ago, the cooperative was managed by a blind person named Karyono, who was also the founder of the initiative. Operated in subsidized apartment, he managed to grow the assets from 20 million to 100 million now. On Article 25-26, during the pandemic, the government also put extra attention to vaccination for persons with disabilities. All across Indonesia, Center for Vaccination were built. The first batch, 2021, was focused in 6 provinces, which are Banten, West Java, Central Java, and Bali. To intensify the effort, communities and disability organizations were involved to outreach, mobilize to the target receptor. To support the identification of beneficiaries, the government launched a command center that can be reached by dialing a short code 171 from any spot in Indonesia. The command center, which operates 24/7, Sunday holiday included, is playing a pivotal role not only to identify the needy, but also to monitor and track the response. The 171 also triggered our Fast Response Unit, TRC, which now consists of 71 more thousand Ministry of Social Affairs assistants and 31 social centers. Capturing media scanning, both mass media and social media, as well as a public report and a mobile-based application called Usul and Sangga. The command center operated in the heart of our quick response unit and able to touch and help the needy person with disabilities in any circumstances, ordinary or extraordinary condition or disaster. Take MR, 9 years, of Ogan Komering Ulu in Palembang, South Sumatra is an example. His case went viral in social media and popped up in our radar. Living with mental illness made his father frustrated and put MR in cycle. As a motorized rickshaw driver, his father struggled to rent a cross 5-meter house and motorized rickshaw or becak motor. The response unit then stepped in after this case went viral in social media. Media scanning triggered an alert in our command center, who then dispatched our quick response units to reach him out and help. After the assessment, the team treated him from change and relocated them to our facility. In our facility, MR was given medical treatment while his father had his new becak motor in production quick. The government opened up the door for public participation through digital platform and crowdfunding from non-profit organizations, and our social foundation cases were able to be solved. A platform called benibike.com is now supporting the government for MR cases. Similar situation started with media scanning and ended up with crowdfunding. Our public participation also helped in many citrus puzzles cases. Crowdfunding platform kitabisa.com is now helping us taking care of medical treatment for hydrocephalus in Central Hospital in Jakarta, plus providing daily allowances. For accompanying relatives in many other cases, the raised public fund was enough to support unpredicted mid to long-term post-surgery treatment. Nico, 21, was another case of end-to-end intervention on top to providing prosthetic leg for him. The government is now renovating his house to ensure a better life ahead. In regard to Article 30, 31, 32, and 33, it is important to highlight that Indonesia just recently hosted the 11 ASEAN Para Games 2022 in Surakarta from 30 July to 6 August 2020. With the tagline "Striving for Equality," Indonesia submitted itself as the host after the competition was cancelled twice to the pandemic. Hosting this is seen as a firm readiness and commitment to hold a sport competition that provide opportunity for persons with disability to participate in international level. Indonesia sat at the top of the table with the total of 400 more medals, consisting of 175 gold medals. In addition, the government also planned to be hosting UNESCAP high-level intergovernmental meeting in the final review of the implementation of the ASEAN and Pacific Decade of Persons with Disability, which will be held on 18 and 20 October 2022 in Jakarta. Excellency Commissioner, ladies and gentlemen, despite of those milestones, the quest has not come to an end. Finding best solution to provide better world for us and for those who live with disability has indeed remained an ongoing process, and it is not easy or simple task to deal with. We might expect to hit few, if not many, roadblocks and our way to get to the ultimate goals. However, I'm very convinced that by sharing the same vision and knowledge on this issue and working together hand in hand, we might overcome those challenges and make this world a better place for people living with disabilities. Thank you, And please stay healthy, ladies and gentlemen.